Look how beautiful they are. Hi, my name is Daphne, and we are outside today very early because we have a few things to harvest in the early August garden. We have eggplant that I know is ready right about now. We also have a bunch of herbs. So yesterday we actually collected some peppermint. The day before that we actually collected some bergamot and a few other things. But today we actually need to collect some stinging nettle and also some St. John's wort, and I'm kind of wondering which one to take first, just because I think the St. John's wort is actually flowering. That might need to come out. So one of those has to be cut down. So we're going to soak those and hang them up, hopefully before the rains come within the next few days. So we're going to do that. We also have eggplant, as mentioned. We have some collard greens, which we can actually take now. We've been continuously pulling from that. I also believe we have some squash ready as well. So come with me very quick. And some pole beans, tons and tons of pole beans. We've been freezing pole beans and sauteing pole beans. It's just been an amazing harvest from that regard. And we also have some elderberry ready as well, which we do need to take before the common geckos descend in that area and destroy that bush. So we have a lot of harvest, and I have a lot to show you guys before the mosquitoes and the bees wake up. So let's go. Let's just get this out the way. Look at this fig tree. It's a bush, but it is huge. I mean, some of these leaves are almost bigger than my hand at this point. And I mean, we're actually, oh, a little lightning bug. We're actually right on schedule for fruit here, and I actually did see some. The tiniest little figs coming up now. Actually, this one is a bigger one right here. Here's hoping they actually ripen before the season is up, because that is always a thing with this plant. This plant is very healthy, but we never actually get any ripened fruit on this thing. So maybe this year might be the year that we actually do get some fruit. I actually don't see too many actual fruit themselves, but it is still early. But I think it's a 4th year plant, so hopefully we actually do get a few fruit. That would be the hope. This thing's huge. Then over here in pole bean heaven, I literally did come out here and pick a ton of pole beans, and as you guys can see, we have a ton of pole beans left on here and more coming. So I definitely got to come out here and harvest. I mean, we do have some browning of the leaves here, but we also have so many just trellising up. Look at this, just literally off one plant, I have a pocket full of harvest. Look, and this is just off the lower half of one plant. That is crazy. And that's dinner. Basically, that's the size for dinner. And they're beautiful. Now, this is the size you probably should take them. They're perfect. Anything more than this, they're going to get a little tough, but are beautiful. And they'll keep going all the way into November. I mean, they might look rough. You're going to have some disease, but these are high producers. I thoroughly recommend growing these. Look at this. And I wanted to show you guys our carrots. I don't know if you'll be able to see this well, but look at this. Now, I did water them overhead, so they're kind of leaning. But look at that. Do you guys see those roots there? I'm going to have to pull one of those. There's literally like 3 carrots there. Actually, let's just do that now. Maybe we'll pull the center one. Oh no, I think that one broke. There's another one. Look at that. I don't know why I thought that would be larger. Little baby carrot there. Now collards, we just keep pulling and we still have tender leaves. Look at that. And we do have caterpillars on these things, but the wasps and the birds in this area have been ferocious. I have literally seen birds with like cabbage worms in their mouths. Look. Yep, just needs a good soak. We can do that in the house. Look at this. Look at these. Alright, so for my handy dandy collapsible shopping bag, isn't it cute? We do have a struggling custard squash plant over here. Very much so struggling. And as much as I've appreciated how beautiful these fruit are, it's not as productive as the patty pan white squash, and so literally this will be the last year I grow this type of squash. And the plant is struggling, even though it has a few more fruit on it. I might literally just pull these because it's August. I don't know. I don't really know if I want to plant another squash seed, even though that would be the quickest thing to germinate here in these two beds. Maybe I'll just put like, I don't know, some mustard greens or some type of fall leafy green that can grow relatively quickly. Can't put any roots in here because we have voles. They're aggressive. But I'm thinking about pulling these plants. It's just not healthy and it's not a good look. But we do have a fruit. Next year we will be growing the patty pans, and that literally will be the squash we grow in this garden bed. I am appreciative of being able to grow new seeds, but if it doesn't work in my garden space, I don't fight it. We just move on. So let's move on. In this growing space we have actually tons and tons of tomato plants. Some of them are relatively sickly. We do need to maybe prune some of the kind of yuckiness out. And I mean, it could just be that it's been humid, but I actually wonder, I'm actually not quite sure what's going on with these plants. This one needs to be staked up here. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with these plants, but some of them do look sickly. This one here actually has a sickly look to it as well. Look at this. I mean, it has fruit, but I don't know. I might try to cut off some of the dead foliage or some of the not so good foliage, but this plant, see, I don't want to pull it because the fruit are good. I'm not sure. I have to keep an eye on it, but nothing else around it really is sick. It's just this plant here. We do have, even on this side, we have a bunch of green tomatoes here. All these plants are, they're definitely being pruned as well, so they can focus more on ripening the fruit they have. We don't have so many tomatoes on this side. But can we take a moment to appreciate the beauty of these red zinnias? Look at that one. A little fruit here. We have some sad looking turnips here. I think I might have left the covering on too long with these, and they were stretching out for like, they were stretching out to be able to like get some sunlight, and like I don't really think they're gonna be successful. Like even the roots here are struggling, but we'll see. I thought about ripping them out and starting over again, but I just don't want to. I really don't want to. Tomatoes we have here. I know these are Amish paste here. That clusters of tomatoes coming in. They're definitely more, we do definitely have healthier plants over here. even with the blight in this plant. Look at this. No blossom end right this year. I did bury some eggshells here, but I've been burying eggshells in this garden for quite a while. And it does take a few years for them to, look at that, it's another little female plant. It does take a couple of years for eggplants to break down in the soil, even when powdered, so maybe that does make a difference. This one has a tiny little fruit cluster there. Then over here, these plants are ridiculous. Look how much fruit. This Anaheim pepper is crazy. Tons and tons of fruit. Look at this. Huge cayenne peppers. None ripe yet. Actually, I spoke too soon. I have a tiny little ripe one. These are, look at this. This one's actually ripening now. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at that. This thing is bigger than my hand. It's crazy. These Anaheim peppers are no joke. All the way out. Yeah, look at these flowers. The birds have gotten crazy over here. Still such beautiful plants. Look at these. My favorite plants in the entire garden is these peppermint zinnias. How beautiful they are. We have our first huge Kellogg's breakfast, and I think I might actually take this one today. Look how huge this one is. Yeah, it's definitely ready. I need to take it before I find some bird pecks in it. There's some splitting right in the center, but look at that. The size of my head is crazy. We're going to take it in the house, and we're actually going to let this one ripen for a few days. Let's pluck these off here. Just taking the flowers off of this. Look at these plants. They are loaded with fruit. Healthy fruit too. Look at that. And all of these are Kellogg's breakfast, second year seed. Very, very healthy plants. Look at these, at least 1 pound fruits. It's huge. I'm going to have to snip the ends of these as well. They actually still have flowers coming up on them. How beautiful these are. Now, we do have okra, and we have picked about quite a few okra, at least not quite a few, but 2 or 3 okra. The problem with the okra station is that we have an aphid infestation over here. I mean, do you guys see this? I mean, look at this. All the nasturtiums are just covered in aphids. And I'm not doing anything to them just because this is ladybug food. And here's a little predator right here. Like, I thought about putting some diatomaceous earth on, but I'm like, no, because she will soon come. And where there is one, there is more. Our little ladybug. So I'm anticipating that she will consume the large quantity of these. Actually, I'm going to put a small water basin at the bottom of these plants, just to make sure they have enough water. But hopefully the ladybugs will clear this little infestation we have going on. But we do have some good okra. This one actually might be shaded out too much by the zinnias, so I might actually be clearing some of this out because I actually want the okra more than I want all of these flowers. But we do have one survivor here, one here with an actual okra that can be taken today. And another little one here that actually has an okra on it. And then we had a little okra plant that could coming in right down here. The nasturtium leaves seem to block out some of the sun, but hopefully it does make it. The three will be okay. Definitely have some aphids, but I'm actually thankful that they've actually migrated towards the nasturtiums because they'll hopefully leave the okra alone. Alright, so I actually think this eggplant might be ready. They said you don't want to let it get overly ripe. And these are huge. So let's look at that. Isn't she gorgeous? I think my husband said he wanted to make some chana masala or something with these, but look how beautiful they are. Spiky. That's for sure. This green part here is extra spiky, but it's beautiful, isn't it? I'm thinking we're going to take this one too to give the plants some time to ripen this one. And then I think there might be one more flower coming that hopefully doesn't dry up on us. So, look at that. 2 homegrown eggplant. Still relatively firm, so hopefully it doesn't fully develop seeds in here, but gorgeous, aren't they? Look at that beautiful basket that is. All right, come on. Do you know how many elderberries we had actually ready? I'm surprised the birds left these alone. Maybe they still have some mulberries left. But yeah, if I don't pick these, I won't have any left. I don't have the time to process them today. So maybe I'll just leave them whole and put them in the refrigerator. And that way I know I have them, and I'll just have to sit down with a comb and comb them out. Look at that. Now all of the berries aren't ripe yet, but if I actually were to leave them, I wouldn't have any. So at least 90% of these are done. So we're going to take these in. And we're going to leave them attached. Even if I can't process them today, I'm going to put them in a plastic bag and put them in the refrigerator. Do not put them in the freezer. You will never be able to comb these out. So, not a bad harvest. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. It is beautiful out here. It is itchy, but this is definitely a welcome space, and it is definitely a peaceful space. And I am so very thankful to have actually been able to say that most of these things I've sown from seed, and they have given us full harvest. We have thoroughly collected 3 huge heads of cabbage, so many pole beans, squash, not as many as last year, but we do have enough squash to continuously eat. Eggplant for the first year. We have tomatoes coming. Tons and tons of herbs are actually in the house drying right now. So this strawberries. So this has just been a bountiful experience in this garden space, literally an outdoor backyard. And thank you guys for walking with us on the journey as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and you have a great and wonderful day, and happy gardening. Peace.